Well, I first stumbled upon puppy mills when I went to buy my own dog. I went to Colfax and ended up on what's called a puppy mill. The dog that I went to go look at was one of 36 dogs of that breed on this farm. I thought that I was at a puppy mill, but I wasn't sure, so I did some research, and the conditions were so grotesque that it took me days just to even get the pictures out of my mind. But I knew something had to happen, so I started contacting lawmakers, and it took me about a half a year to find Jeff Smith. And I was out shopping one day. I knew who he was. I wasn't too familiar with his political backgrounds, but I thought I would approach him. It was at a farmer's market, and I walked up to him and I said, I have this issue. Nobody's listening to me or taking me seriously. I know that some lawmakers in the South are trying to do something, but something has to be done. It surprised me when Jeff said that he wanted to see firsthand what I was talking about. So a week later, Jeff and I went to a puppy mill, and we approached the situation that we were both going to be shopping and wanted to get in. It was kind of how I found out the only way that you could get in. Jeff went with me, and we went to go take pictures, and we didn't get in the first time, and I thought that was it. I had my lawmaker one chance, and Jeff was going to give up. But I called him another week later, and I said, I think I found another puppy mill. Will you come with me? And thinking my answer was going to be no, Jeff said yes. And so I scheduled us to go to 3 that day so we could at least get into one. We were in Clark County, and it took me 45 minutes to work our way into this puppy mill. And again, any other lawmaker in that situation, I know would have been counting the minutes, thinking of everything else that they could have been doing at that time. But Jeff persevered with me, and we made it into one of the worst puppy mills to this day that I've ever seen. There was about 326 adult breeding dogs in this place, and many of the dogs were scratching, trying to get up. I could tell Jeff was looking at the situation already, trying to figure out what he could do as a lawmaker to change the situation. With an organization called No Wisconsin Puppy Mill, they worked 10 years to try to get legislation passed. They crafted and worded time after time, and it had hearings, but it never went past a hearing. Jeff Smith, in 1 year, was able to get a committee together, craft legislation, and have it passed unanimously on the floor. The day that I found out the legislation was passed was probably one of the most thrilling days for myself and many of the people who worked behind the scenes to help get this done. From that point on, I knew Jeff was somebody in politics who set himself on a mission and wanted it to be complete. When Jeff puts his mind to something, you know he's going to finish and complete that project. Jeff can work with almost anyone in any situation. We need these kind of politicians in Madison. We need politicians who are going to make promises, deliver. I've seen Jeff do it.
In 2008, I had this chance meeting with Jamie Page at the farmer's market. And to tell you the truth, I didn't even recognize her at first. And she started talking to me about how she had discovered when she was looking for a puppy that there were actually these notorious puppy mills out there that she had no idea about before. And I said, you know, Jamie, I know a little bit about that too. And she said, this has really got me concerned. Can we do something? And I said, I'm more than willing to go along and do something. So this was really a great opportunity to have somebody who, like her, have the ability to take me with her, with a camera, and we went and walked through these places, which brought me great credibility when I went to Madison after that election to talk to legislators and say, hey, I think I can get this done, which they were more than glad that somebody was willing to try it after they've been trying it for 10 years and had failed. Well, and we did. I brought the groups together who had been opposed to it in the past. We worked things through, and I'm so proud of the fact at the end, when we came to testimony in the hearing with the committee, that those groups actually came and testified in favor of what we did. And by that, we got to the floor and got unanimous votes in both houses. It was a very exciting process, and it really helped overall in the process of showing people how you get things done. And I heard that over and over in committees, as a matter of fact, that this is how we should actually be walking through bills. You know, experiencing it firsthand, taking groups, bringing them together, and then bringing it to the floor and getting full support from everyone. And having somebody like Jeff Smith, who was able to do that, I think I heard that a lot in Madison. You know, they used me as an example from then on. This is how you get legislation done. It was really very, very exciting time.